I'm in the town of Fremont, which is about 3 miles north of downtown Seattle. And this is the famous troll under the bridge. And you can see that he's got a Volkswagen right there. So this would appear to be a real Volkswagen. This is at the top of that bridge, and you can see Seattle is over this way. And this is a rocket that was taken, it's a 55-foot rocket that was taken from an Army surplus store. So the headquarters for Adobe is supposed to be here somewhere, and I don't know if this is it or not. It doesn't seem to be big enough. And if you look closely at this dog's face, it's a person's face, and apparently the sculptor, it's the face of a politician in Fremont at the time that the sculptor didn't like. So I came down here to get a closer look at this Adobe building, and I still haven't decided if this is the headquarters for Adobe or just an office space they have here. But I wanted to give them a shout out because Adobe is working on a Flash application for the iPhone, and when they're successful in that, that's going to change SingMyPart.com, because you'll be able to access your songs on SingMyPart.com on your smartphones. And right now you can get to the website, SingMyPart.com, on your iPhone, but the controls don't work. You have to be at a computer for the controls to work. But that will change when they get a Flash application for the iPhone. So I'm really excited about that. So it looks like there might be another convention in town today, Robothon.
How much would I cry? How deep is the ocean? How high is the sky?
In 1903, a student at Yale Engineering College moved to the state of Washington to work in the timber business. In 1908, he moved to Seattle and started a company called Greenwood Timber. 2 years later, he bought a shipyard that would eventually become his first airplane factory. The same year, he showed up at an air meeting in Los Angeles and tried unsuccessfully to convince one of the 12 pilots to let him ride in a plane. But he eventually became friends with a Navy lieutenant who offered him the opportunity. After the flight, William Boeing said, "I think I can build a better airplane." Number 1 on our countdown of Seattle's most fascinating companies is Boeing. The first test flight of a Boeing airplane was on June 15, 1916. It flew 900 feet. To get his airplane company started, Boeing hired one of only a few aeronautical engineers in the country and 2 University of Washington engineering students who would both later become president of the company. Boeing kept the company in Seattle because of the availability of local spruce wood. By 1917, his company had grown to 28 employees and included pilots, carpenters, engineers, boat builders, and seamstresses. Wages ranged from 14 cents an hour to $300 a month. This was during World War I, and the Navy needed seaplanes for training purposes. So they took 2 planes apart and sent them in crates on a train to Florida, reassembled them in Florida, and showed them to the Navy. The Navy ordered 50 planes, and this was Boeing's first production order for airplanes. When the war ended in 1918, demand for airplanes crashed. To keep the company alive, they built furniture and other items made from wood. In the 1920s, airmail and passenger air travel became realities, and the first passenger on a commercial Boeing flight was a reporter for a Chicago newspaper. The flight from San Francisco to Chicago took 22 hours. But soon the country was in World War II, and Boeing had to quickly change the focus from passenger airplanes to warplanes and bombers. The Boeing plant in Seattle was so critical to the war effort that the roof was disguised with house houses, lawns, and fences to make it look like a town from the air. Boeing is the largest aircraft manufacturer in the world, and the factory near Seattle is the largest building in the world.
I'm waiting for a tour bus to pick me up this morning because I'm going on a factory tour, and you just saw video of the original Boeing factory, and today I'm going to Everett to the current Boeing factory, which is a little bit bigger.
We're just about ready at the Boeing factory.
And complete needed maintenance tasks. We are focused on what the industry really needs, a